Over the years, the internet has had its fair share with something called screamers. Screamers are basically little jump scares that come out of nowhere and are usually in things that you least expect them to be in. Many of these screamers were in the form of videos, websites, video games, etc. People would share these screamers with their friends or even their own family members to try and play a little prank on them and give them a little scare for the day.
Oh, damn.
Today, we're going to be taking a look at some of the most iconic and interesting screamers on the internet and seeing if these still hold up today. And don't worry, when I do show off these screamers, I will be putting a countdown warning before the jump scare so you know when it's coming. And there will be absolutely zero random jump scares in this video at the end or whatever, so don't worry about that either, I promise. Anyways, without further ado, let's just start this video with rocking chair. A YouTube video titled Ghost Caught on Tape was uploaded by user SZWorld, whose real name is Steve Zaransky, back in October of 2006. This video features a room with a rocking chair front and center. There are also many things scattered on the floor, including a rocking horse behind the rocking chair. Throughout this video, you can hear a Chevy commercial playing in the background while a mom talks about The Little Mermaid.
This is it. The Chevy model year event is almost over. The last of the 06s are going fast, so don't get your Chevy before someone else does. Buy 06 model V6 and get 0% APR finance.
Not much happens in the video for the first 10 seconds or so, and the chair stays perfectly still, but after the 10-second mark, things start to change. The blanket on the right starts to move a tiny bit, and the chair starts to rock back and forth on its own out of nowhere. Now this makes you wonder if the chair is secretly cursed. However, right when you're wondering that, Regan McNeil from the Exorcist movie jump scares you, and the video ends with Steve's website. Steve would actually go on to make an alternate version of this video in September of 2010, where Regan McNeil was replaced with a woman with no eyes and a mouth which is wide open. And here's a little interesting fact about this video. Apparently the house that can be seen in the video was actually Steve's house, which he lived in with his family before they moved out of it. And the woman who crawls up to the camera was actually Steve's wife, Caroline Bryant, who was also the woman in the alternate version. The original video from 2006 currently has over 70 million views, but has been re-uploaded by many people over the years, with the re-uploads also gaining millions of views, making this one of the most iconic screamer videos of all time. Michael Jackson's ghost. So in 2009, there were videos claiming that the ghost of Michael Jackson was caught on camera while Larry King was exploring his Neverland Ranch on CNN Live. And when some internet users stumbled upon this video, they thought it'd be a funny idea to make a jump scare video based on it. So on July 7th, 2009, a video was uploaded to YouTube by user AmnesiaFish titled Proof of Michael Jackson's Ghost, Scary New Raw Footage with Enhanced Audio. The video itself starts off with text that reads, Michael Jackson's quote-unquote alleged ghost as seen on Larry King Live has been seen by millions. Our audio engineers managed to extract an additional layer of sound from this clip. Listen carefully. This is actual audio from the original clip. Then we cut to the original CNN Live clip that was spreading around the internet. We can see them come across a long hall with what appears to be a shadow at the end of the hall moving. After this, it repeats the clip of the shadow moving over and over again. It plays that same clip slowed down a few times before suddenly zooming in, and then out of nowhere, the viewer gets jump scared with an image of Michael Jackson as a zombie from the Thriller music video. Before ending the video with text saying, just a small tribute to a man who will never stop thrilling us. We'll miss you, MJ. Now, despite this being the original, there is a re-upload of this video that got 9 million more views than the original. It's kind of sad, but sadly this does happen with many famous videos on YouTube, so it is expected. Anyways, this is another very iconic YouTube screamer video, with it being viewed by millions over the years, just like Rocking Chair. Dancing Girl. Here's yet another iconic YouTube screamer, the Dancing Girl video, also known as OMG Amazing Dancer. Now, the earliest upload of this video is said to have been back in early 2010 by a user named ShortAVI, but was actually terminated. So now the earliest upload is this video, which was uploaded on March 9th of 2010. It features an old TV with static on the very right of the screen, with a girl on the left dancing slowly while peaceful music plays in the background. This video seems way more innocent than the rocking chair one, so you think it'll just be a calm little video of a girl dancing for 20 seconds, and that is that. However, you're wrong. The girl dances away from the camera's view, and then shortly after she disappears, a very loud jump scare with a bloody woman appears out of nowhere and then immediately ends. There sadly isn't really much info about this video, and it probably doesn't help that the original is now gone, as they were probably the original creator of this video. All I can say for now is that despite this video not being as well known as like the rocking chair video or the Michael Jackson Ghost video, it's still a pretty iconic YouTube screamer that deserves to be mentioned in this video. The Scary Maze game. Oh boy, this is easily one of, if not the most iconic screamers on the entire internet. A game known as the Scary Maze game was dominating the internet in the mid to late 2000s and was constantly having new reaction videos posted about it every single day. So what is the Scary Maze game? Well, most of you probably do know what it is, but for those who somehow don't, it's a little low-quality game that is simply titled The Maze, created by a man named Jeremy Winterroud, who has actually made several other videos with jump scares in it. Test your skills. Try to reach the goal without touching the walls. How steady is your hand? Let's find out. Try and beat all 4 levels. You'd play as this tiny little blue dot and would have to navigate these mazes without going outside of the light blue tubes. The game seems nice enough up until level 3.
This one is the hardest level yet. Truly challenging your maze skills. Is it even possible?
Nope, because when you are super close to the end of the level and are just about to celebrate and make it to the final level, you get a nice little hello from Regan McNeil from The Exorcist, once again, just like from the rocking chair video. The game came out in 2003, and it wouldn't be until 2006 when it would start to go viral. There would be countless, and I mean countless, reaction videos of people pranking their friends or family members with this game, and would often get hilarious results.
Come on.
There would even be an infamous SNL skit which would parody the game and these reaction videos.
Why would you do that?
Overall, the Scary Maze game is truly an iconic screamer and will continue to traumatize generations to come. What's wrong with this picture? In February of 2002, a man named J. Bill McCarthy would create a screamer animation that would go further than he ever thought it would. He would post it to his website, JBill, and its main purpose was just to prank his girlfriend. The animation features a stock photo of a dining room with a table and chairs and some open windows. And your goal is to find out what is wrong with the picture, and so you'll look around for the picture for a bit, trying to find what's wrong. However, you probably struggle with finding out what's wrong, because there's literally nothing wrong with this image at all. Right when you're about to give up and just stop looking and just call it quits, it cuts to an image of a woman with black eyes screaming before quickly going back to the room, and then the animation ends. And here's a little fun fact. The image of the screaming woman actually comes from Getty Images and was made by a photographer named Gandhi Vasan in 1998. This photo was inspired by the iconic The Scream painting, and this photo was even used and edited a little bit for the post-over movie called Maniacs from 2001. J. Bill himself was who made the photo into the iconic image we all know and love. Anyways, back to the screamer itself. This animation would instantly go viral and even be featured on America's Funniest Home Videos numerous times as well.
The windows? Yeah. Oh. Once you see it, you'll know.
There are also many different variations of this type of screamer, but with different images. All in all, what's wrong with this picture was truly a screamer for the ages, and I don't think J. Bill expected it to go as far as it did. Ghost car. I'd argue this video right here is what defined internet screamers. When you think of internet screamers, this is probably the first one you think of. The Keifi car commercial also known as the ghost car video. In April 2005, a German coffee company named Kikia would go on to create some TV commercials that would start out nice and peaceful, but then just when you're about to relax, a jump scare comes out of nowhere, and then the commercial ends with the coffee itself with a heartbeat sound effect before the ad ends. These were part of a campaign called Wide Awake and would use these jump scares as a way to show you how energetic and awake their product can make you, hence the heartbeat sound effect at the end. However, these commercials didn't quite sit well with many people, and these ads were seen as material that just shouldn't be on TV at all, which I can understand. The commercials would soon stop airing as a result of the criticism, and that was the end of that. However, one of these commercials would go super viral on the internet and would scare millions around the world. This commercial features a white car driving down a road with trees and hills all around it. Peaceful music can be heard throughout the commercial, and the car continues driving until it suddenly disappears behind a giant tree. The camera continues to pan to the right, and we get a beautiful view of the hills and trees, and just when you're wondering where on earth the car went, a zombie suddenly zooms in from the right and screams right in your face. The ad then ends with their usual slogan, and then the product with a heartbeat sound effect. This commercial would be re-uploaded all over YouTube, with the most popular upload named Ghost Car getting almost 40 million views in 18 years, with the video being uploaded way back in July of 2005, only 3 months after the commercials were even released. Like the scary maze game, this commercial would be used to prank friends or family members and would usually be told to look for a ghost in the video, and right when they're in full focus mode, the screamer would occur.
Let's go by these trees. Keep a look at the front.
What am I supposed to be watching here?
And years later, even the amazing world of Gumball would go on to reference the iconic video in the season 2 episode named The Internet.
Huh? There's no ghost in this video. It's just a car driving down a road.
And to this day, there are still many memes and reactions about the commercial being created, and I think it's safe to say that the internet will never forget the splash this video had on internet culture. Stickman. This was a video which was uploaded by Logbog in June of 2006. It starts off with text that says, "What you are about to see may disturb some viewers. In 1998, a man made an animation, but after watching it, he noticed something strange. Watch closely." And then quickly cuts to a Stickman moving around in front of a white backdrop. The animation doesn't last too long, and once it finishes, there's more text which reads, "Watch again closely." The animation that played before plays once again, but this time it freezes after it finishes and starts to zoom in on the Stickman. You're probably looking for the strange thing that's in the animation, but just when you think you're close to finding it, an image of James Root from the band Slipknot suddenly appears with a loud scream playing. After the screamer, more text can be seen which reads, "Did you see it this time? Want to watch it again? No? I don't think so." The video currently has over 1.5 million views, and the creator would even end up creating a sequel in November of 2009, 3 years after the original. The video follows a similar format to the original, with an animation playing and then the video telling you to look for something disturbing in the animation before jump scaring you just when you think you're about to find it. This video would even be featured in a video called 9 Screamers All at Once, where you can see it just at the bottom of the video. This one isn't too well known, especially compared to the others, but this is another screamer video that I feel is worth mentioning, especially for how old it is. SCP-450. We're gonna be ending this video with one that I find a bit more funny than the others. This was a video which was uploaded to YouTube by someone named AndrewJ857 in December of 2010. However, this video has since been privated by the original uploader and was re-uploaded by the Screamer Wiki in June of 2019. The video starts off with text that warns the viewers that the content in the video may be dangerous to their own health and that they should watch at their own risk. It then cuts to an image of a dark hallway with weird ambience playing in the background. There's nothing but this image for a good 50 seconds, but then all of a sudden it just cuts to an image of a kitten with a meow sound effect. So this video may seem like more of a fake out screamer at first, but then this is when the actual screamer starts. After the kitten, it cuts to scrolling text which reads, "Thanks for watching, prepare to bricks," which only appears for like a second before suddenly flashing many creepy faces on screen with scream sound effects. Some of these images include Regan McNeil from The Exorcist once again, the Gandhi Vassin screaming girl image, and even Smile Dog. And then randomly cuts to Jeff the Killer with the song "I Shot the Sheriff" by Bob Marley playing, before Regan McNeil popping up once again before the video ends. I shot the sheriff. This one just seems a bit more funny to me, as like, first of all, it's a dark hallway for like a very long time. Then it cuts to a cute kitten, and then just randomly starts playing a billion jump scares all at once before cutting to Bob Marley. Like, what? And then it just scares you again at the end. Like, what an interesting video. And apparently the creator themselves actually finds the video ridiculous as well, which was why they privated it around late 2014. They commented on a wiki post in late 2015 saying, "This is pathetic, lol. That's why I made this and all my other videos private, for Christ's sake." Then over 2 years later, they replied to some replies saying, "Don't know why I'm still commenting here, but yes, that was me. I just want to make better things." So yeah, even the creator finds this video kind of silly, but it's still sort of a shame that the original was private, as it would be funny to see things such as early reactions in the comments, the original description, etc. But I do understand it is the creator's decision after all. But yeah, this is another screamer which, while not as popular as some of the others similar to the Stickman video, it's still a very interesting video which I think deserves a mention in this video. So those were some of the most iconic and interesting screamers on the internet. This video was very interesting to make as I've never really researched these videos before. I'd like to thank the Screamer Wiki for making this video a lot easier to make, as they were able to provide some very important information and backstory about these screamers. I'll leave a link down below if you're interested in checking out some of the other screamers on the site, as they are pretty interesting to look at. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe. I'm currently on the road to 100,000 subscribers, so even just one subscription would be greatly appreciated. And if you want to support the channel even more, feel free to press the join button or click on the link in the description and become a member of the channel. You can unlock some special perks such as custom emotes, a badge next to your name, and even early access to new videos. You aren't required to become a member, obviously, but it'd be greatly appreciated as well. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace! Alright, so a lot of you seem to actually really enjoy my first video about screamers, so I thought, why not make a part 2? Now, if you're watching this and you don't know what a screamer is, it's basically a cheap jump scare, which was usually hidden in something innocent to catch you off guard. The internet saw a lot of these back in the day. It was basically one big lesson to just never trust anything online. In my last video, I basically covered where are the most iconic screamers on the internet that everyone knows about. But in this video, I'm going to be covering some of the less popular screamers out there. Now, don't get me wrong, some of these screamers are still pretty iconic and a lot of people may know them, but there will be some in this video that you may have never heard of before. And just like in the last video, you won't have to worry about being jump scared in this video because I'm going to be putting a 3-second countdown before each jump scare. That way, you get to enjoy the video while also not being on edge the whole time. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this little sequel, and without further ado, let's go. Super Mario 64 Big Star Secret. Starting off this video with a very interesting topic, we have the legendary Super Mario 64 Big Star Secret. I've actually made a whole video covering the screamer if you want to learn more about it after watching this video, but I still think it's worthy of a mention here. Super Mario 64 Big Star Secret was a YouTube video uploaded way back in August 15th of 2007 by a user named LotusMan17. This was a tutorial which claimed to show you how to unlock Luigi in the game with step-by-step instructions done in Windows Movie Maker. The Super Mario 64 gameplay itself was recorded with a Motorola Razr flip phone and had noticeable changes to the textures. Mario's overalls were changed to blue and black, and the castle's brick textures were also changed to black. There were also some music tracks which played throughout the video, which are believed to be scaled to whispers in the dark, and those chosen by the planet from Final Fantasy VII. The video's audio would later be swapped to Alexander Pearl's database, confirmed thanks to this YouTube comment, although it is rumored that it was also swapped to 009 Sound System's Dreamscape at one point. The video only lasted a few minutes before the final step came out, which told you to go over to the wall and press A, and then the video would abruptly cut to the iconic Keifi car commercial jump scare, which I covered in my last video. After the jump scare, some credits would roll, and it's believed that at the top of the text would say something along the lines of "trolled LOL." The video then ended after that. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm describing this video as if it's like some lost media thing and no one actually has the original and we only have this description based on witness accounts and short snippets of it. Well, that is because the video actually is lost media. Lotus would have this video up for a few years before deleting it around 2012. It is commonly believed that it was deleted in late 2012, but after a searcher named Sindexmon looked through many YouTube archives, it may have actually been deleted way earlier than that. The reason why the video was likely deleted was due to the amount of death threats Lotus was receiving in the comments section. It was even found out that Lotus actually disabled the comments entirely on the video in 2011 thanks to a Facebook post which shows an archive description which reads, "This video was done out of complete boredom, and yet people still wish to leave hateful comments. Therefore, commenting has been disabled." And since then, this video has become lost to time. There has been a big search for this video for years, but yet the full thing still hasn't resurfaced. All we have of it right now is an archived page of the video, the thumbnail, and 2 reaction videos, one of which were actually uncovered this year by Sindexmon and Marvel. Marvel being who started this big search in the first place. This was a huge find for the search, and as an avid searcher for this video, was really cool to see. It even contains the iconic thumbnail frame movie, which is pretty cursed, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, it's quite a shame, and it's shocking that this video is even lost in the first place. Like, this wasn't some obscure video at all. This video had around 700,000 views before its deletion, and yet there is no archive of it anywhere. However, there is actually some hope that this video can be found soon, and you'll see why. Sindexmon, the same person who helped manage to uncover the second reaction video, actually found out that if you shut down your computer in the middle of watching a YouTube video, back when the website still used Adobe Flash Player, the video actually caches in full to your temp folder and just stays there forever. As long as you don't close the tab and you use the power button on your computer or even unplugged it, the video should cache to the temp folder and stay there permanently. Our hope for the search since the beginning was that someone who downloaded the video and still has it came forward and uploaded it, and then bam, search was over. But now all we need is a witness of the original who got so scared that they shut off their computer in fear and still has the computer today. This graph basically perfectly explains what I'm talking about. With how many people watched the video back in the day, I'm actually pretty confident this could be the way the video actually gets found. So you out there, if you remember watching this video back in the day, or even think you watched it and you still have the computer you watched it on, do not be afraid to check to see if the video actually is cached on there. You can watch this video on how to find the folder with your cached videos if you need some help with it. Who knows, you may have the video without even knowing it, and you can help put an end to this big search. Monkey on their backs. So this is one I'm honestly kind of surprised I didn't include in my last video, but honestly, I don't even think I was aware of this one at the time. So this right here is what is considered to actually be the world's first ever screamer, dating way back to 1970. To give some context, this was actually an anti-heroin PSA, which was created by the National Clearinghouse for Drug Abuse Information. Now, this company had already created several PSAs before, but this one would be a little bit different from their other ones. The PSA opens with a monkey toy crashing some symbols together with a girl narrator saying, "They say people addicted to heroin have a monkey on their back. Isn't that cute?" So far, this PSA seems innocent enough, just a little monkey toy crashing some symbols in front of a white background. However, you'd be wrong. Soon after the girl says her lines, the monkey suddenly stops playing the symbols, and then it zooms in on the monkey, which transforms into a real monkey as a loud scream sound effect plays.
They say people addicted to heroin have a monkey on their back. Isn't that cute?
Shortly after that, some text would pop up on the screen which says, "Why do you think they call it dope?" along with the company at the bottom. Pretty simple, but for this being from the 70s, I can imagine this was tons of people's trauma back then. You'd probably think, well, surely they banned this, right? Tons of people must have gotten traumatized by this thing. But nope, this PSA was never banned whatsoever. Pretty funny considering PSAs like the Hate Hurts You PSA had to be modified due to the man in the PSA apparently scaring a lot of people. And then the original version of that PSA would actually be lost media for almost 50 years years before someone finally uncovered the original. So the fact that this was able to keep airing on television is pretty crazy, honestly. But despite it never being banned, there's not too much footage of it online, with the most popular upload being pretty low quality, having these weird black bars, and then another upload being higher quality, but having this pink tint to it. But hey, it was the 70s, so I can't imagine recording these things was anywhere near as common as it is now. Overall, while this may seem pretty tame now, it definitely scared a lot of people back then, and I'd say is important in Screamer history. Kikia. Here's another one that I could have included in my previous video. Now, the last one we talked about is considered the first ever screamer in general, but this one right here is considered one of the first ever internet screamers. It would become pretty viral over the years as other screamers started to emerge. So this screamer was originally created way back in 2002 and was a flash animation that was posted onto a website called Kimmo, which was a Taiwanese blogging website. It starts out with a drawing of a boy sitting on some grass in front of a white background. Some text would start to appear on screen, which translates to, "How long haven't you? Take a closer look at the sky." Based on that, you probably know where this is going. But back then, this was an innocent enough instruction. After that, it cuts to that same boy who is now in a city. More text appears, which translates to, "Walking down the street, you see." But then out of nowhere, a picture of someone with pure white eyes starts flashing on screen with a very loud scream playing. Lasts only 2 seconds before cutting to some text which reads Kikia before the animation ends. Now again, this video may seem a little goofy and tame nowadays, but remember, this was one of the first ever screamers to truly gain popularity online. Not that many people had seen something which lured them into a false sense of security and just scared them out of nowhere, so you gotta wonder just how terrified people got by this video. It's obviously not going to be that scary nowadays because we're very used to this format. We've seen many videos which do this exact same trick, but at the time, this was pretty much unheard of. So yeah, this got pretty popular almost instantly, and there were even tons of fan-made versions of it, which usually just replaced the boy and the jump scare with different things. Overall, a pretty iconic screamer, which would help lay the foundation for future screamers on the internet, and is very important in screamer history. Garfield's Scary Scavenger Hunt 2. I've just realized how interesting this lineup is so far. We got a lost YouTube video, an old PSA, a flash animation, and now a flash game. Specifically, a flash game about Garfield of all things. Yeah, you could not escape screamers if even Garfield was pulling them on you. It just goes to show how popular these damn things were at the time. Anyways, back in the early 2000s, Garfield was getting his fair share of games. You got Garfield Gets Real, which I actually remember playing, Garfield's Typing Pal, the movie tie-in game, and even those games on the Garfield A Tale of Two Kitties DVD. Oh yeah, this is peak gaming right here. Wait, you could beat this thing? I just remember traveling this maze forever, not knowing what I was doing. Anyways, there would be one series of flash games which would stand out from the rest, and those were the Garfield Scary Scavenger Hunt games. These games were simple point-and-click flash games where the goal was to eat every single donut and muffin in this haunted mansion. However, if you scared Garfield too much by clicking too many objects that scare him, it's game over. Now, in the first game, there's nothing that notable aside from finding Lyman, Odie's original owner, chained up in the basement. But in the second game, there would be a little prank snuck in there. So if you go to the gallery in the mansion, you'll find a painting on the wall. When you click on this painting, you'll see the painting up close with instructions that read, "Study this picture very closely. There's an important clue hidden in this picture." Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the developers were inspired by that exact screamer, considering it only came out a year prior to this game's release. Anyways, you start looking around and you try to find the hidden clue in this painting. But just as you're about to feel like giving up, a red pig flashes on screen for a second with a loud scream before the painting reappears with text saying, "Gotcha, click anywhere to go back," and "Just kidding." The funniest part? This screamer is completely useless and you don't even need to see it in order to progress. How fun. So as if all the mini jump scares already in both of the games weren't enough, they decided to throw this one at... Jeez, I just accidentally moved my pop filter. They decided to throw this one at you as well. This one might not be as extreme as some of the other screamers in this video or in my last video, but this was probably pretty scary for those kids out there playing this. Eventually, the games would be removed since the website it was on, Garfield.com, would be removed entirely due to Viacom acquiring Pause Inc., which was the company behind the Garfield IP. However, both of the games have been archived and you can still play them today in case you're interested. I will say that Screamer aside, both of these games are actually pretty interesting with how many different Easter eggs there are. I can see why they're remembered so well in the Garfield community. There was actually also a different Flash game made to promote the second Scooby-Doo movie, which pulled a very similar trick, but I think I'll save that for a third installment. That's a whole other Screamer to talk about. Jingle Bells Reversed. Oh boy, here we go. Here's another classic right here, Jingle Bells Reversed. This is actually perfect timing considering I'm releasing this video in December, so Merry Christmas, I guess. This one seems to have actually been pretty popular back in the day, with there being many re-uploads and reaction videos coming out of it. But if you're not familiar with this one, it was a simple Flash animation which was uploaded to Newgrounds in 2004 by a man named Daniel Fowler. Its basic premise was to show you what the classic Christmas song Jingle Bells sounded like in reverse and its hidden secret. You're probably pretty familiar with these types of videos which show you songs in reverse and claim to have some subliminal messages in them. But this was a little bit different. So the animation starts with a snippet of the song played normally with a little green visualizer on screen.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
So far, pretty normal. Then, after the snippet ends, the visualizer flips around and the same snippet plays, but in reverse. Some text at the top reads, "Listen very carefully to the lyrics." And so you listen very closely, put your ear up to the speakers to hear the hidden subliminal message in the song, trying to find out what exactly the secret is. But right as the snippet starts to end, a gif of Daniel Fowler himself, but inverted, pops up with a loud scream before returning to the visualizer. There's then some final text that reads, it sounds slightly different in reverse. Hidden message? Who knows? I'm a bastard? Yes. And then he goes on to list his email along with a promotion telling you to check out his other stuff on Newgrounds. Like I said, this screamer actually got pretty popular over the years, and there were many reaction videos of it. The screamer would also manage to get featured on Jeremy Winterraud's website, winterraud.com, which was created by the same creator of the Scary Maze game and would feature many different screamers on his website. There would also be an alternate version on eBomb's World, which was later re-uploaded to a Flash game website called y8.com, where the visualizer and screamer are yellow and the promotion text is replaced with, "Did you your pants as much as this guy?" Even YouTuber Matt Shea managed to fall for the screamer back in the day.
Take that, Bennett. Trying to jump scare me. I haven't been the same since I watched Jingle Bells Reversed, okay?
So yeah, a classic screamer which probably ruined Jingle Bells for a lot of people. Creepy Grudge Ghost Girl in the Mirror. Alright, so this one right here is actually insanely popular. This video right here is not only a popular screamer, but a popular horror video on YouTube. It's one of those videos that you just have to bring up when talking about creepy YouTube videos. But if you somehow don't know what this video is, it was a video uploaded back on January 3rd, 2008 by user ncook1234. It's a short video of a girl standing in front of a mirror while she puts on some earrings. After she does that, she stands in front of the mirror for a few more seconds before turning to the camera and waving at it. But you may notice, the girl in the mirror hasn't moved. What is going on? Is this a ghost? Well, your questions would be answered almost instantly because soon after the girl starts to wave at the camera, the video suddenly zooms into the ghost girl in the mirror who now looks way more demonic, with her having no pupils and her mouth being wide open. Now, you want to know how popular this video is? 5 million views, 10 million views, heck, maybe even 15 million views? This video has over 114 million views as of me writing this. 114 million. Those are really impressive numbers for some short screamer video, but it once again goes to show just how popular this trend was. Like, the original rocking chair video managed to get over 75 million, and the most popular upload of the KFC car commercial managed to get over 35 million. The creepy Grudge ghost girl video would get so popular that just a year later, on January 16th, 2009, they decided to create a sequel titled Possessed Girl Beheads Herself in Her Bedroom. It has a woman going over to her bed and lifting up the blankets, which reveals the possessed girl just chilling on the floor with blue skin and pure white eyes. The woman screams at the sight of this, and the head of the girl soon falls off completely, which leads her to scream more and drop the camera. The video then ends with a shot of the camera on the floor with the possessed girl still in frame slightly, before cutting to black and ending. This one wouldn't manage to be anywhere near successful as its predecessor, but would still manage to rack up over 15 million views. Over the years, there would be many reactions to this video and even some parodies of the original, like a lot of parodies. With how impressive the special effects must have been for the time and how unexpected the screamer was, I can see how this got so popular back then. It was simple, yet effective, and I think this definitely deserves to be remembered fondly when it comes to the horror side of YouTube. Autoway tires commercial. So this one is actually a little bit more modern compared to all the others we looked at so far, being made in 2013. This is a commercial which was created by a Japanese tire company called Autoway Tires. Funnily enough, when you actually Google this company, most of the results you get are this very commercial. So this commercial must have helped them get some more recognition. Anyways, the commercial itself starts out with a warning which reads, "Not for the faint of heart video. Please refrain from watching the content if any of the following applies to you. Have any mental or physical health concern and may have to see a doctor regularly. We shall not be liable for any injuries, illness, and damages claimed to be caused by watching the content either." Is this a screamer with a warning? That has got to be very rare. Most of these things don't warn you about anything. They have no remorse. You know what? Props to you, Autoway Tires. Anyways, we then cut to some footage of two guys driving down a snowy road at night. Nothing much really happens in these first few seconds, and it just seems to be this road and nothing else. But eventually, the guys see what looks like some kind of ghost chilling in the middle of the road, and they stop the car. They honestly wonder what on earth this thing is and what it's doing in the middle of the road. And you're probably wondering that too. But just when you try to get a closer look at it and see what it truly is, the ghost suddenly teleports right in front of the car against the window with a sound effect to accompany it. The two guys get startled by this and try to back up to get away from the being, with some pretty convincing panicking from the two. It then cuts to some text which reads, "Snowy road is scary," before cutting to some more text which is actually being shown by the ghost on a laptop which reads, "Have you put your winter tires on?" The commercial then ends with the Autoway Tires logo. So similarly to the KFC car commercial, the screamer actually does have some sort of purpose here. Considering the two guys were on a snowy road at night and probably couldn't back up more quickly because of that, this commercial was probably just a way to let people know that if they have winter tires on the car, they can avoid situations like this more easily. But the Autoway Tires commercial seems way more forgiving than the KFC commercials, considering this one actually has a warning at the beginning. The commercial would go on to become pretty popular around the world and would even be claimed to be one of the scariest commercials ever. It also helped that it would be re-uploaded onto YouTube and would garner over 1.5 million views. Although this commercial actually used to be up on the official Autoway Tires YouTube channel and got over 9 million views before being private later on. So yeah, another interesting case of a company using the screamer to try and sell their product, and is also a rare case of a screamer with a warning. Bongcheon-Dong Ghost. This is definitely the most unique screamer I will cover in this video. This is also another one that a lot of you may know about due to how popular it was back in the day. With the other ones mostly being YouTube videos or flash animations or commercials, this one is actually a full-blown webcomic. Back in 2011, there was someone known as Harain who would create some Korean webcomics on the website naver.com. They'd released one in July 2011 called Oku Station Ghost. Now, something that was notable about this comic was something near the very end. Near the end of reading this comic, a hand comes out of nowhere and starts trying to grab the screen over and over again, jump scaring the reader. And Horain really liked the aspect of the comic. They liked it so much, in fact, they decided to do it again. And that's where the most infamous comic, Bongcheon-Dong Ghost, comes in. The comic was released in August of 2011 and would once again be posted to the Naver.com website. Now, I'm not going to read the entire comic, as I think it's worth reading on your own. If you can handle it, of course. But I'll summarize basically what happens in it and obviously talk about the screamer parts. So the story is apparently based on true eyewitness accounts and takes place in Bongcheon-Dong in South Korea. It shows an exhausted high school student walking back home at night after some study sessions at her school. There's no one around, only her. She keeps walking until she notices a shadow on the ground, which was odd since she couldn't actually see anyone around her before. She looks up only to see a strange woman who was wearing dirty pink pajamas, seemed to have twisted joints, and had extremely messy hair. Understandably, the girl feels pretty intimidated by this woman and doesn't quite know what to do. And then the first screamer comes in. The woman very suddenly twists her entire head towards the girl, looking directly at her. The girl stays there frozen in fear, not knowing what this woman wanted for her. But then she'd find out when the woman asks one simple question: where is my baby? Obviously, the girl has absolutely no idea where her baby could be, so she nervously points in a random direction far away from her, hoping she'd just go away. The woman would limp towards the location the girl pointed, and the girl decided to get out of there as soon as possible. But right as she starts to get away from the apartment complex, she hears the woman yell, "She is not here." And before you know it, you get the second and final screamer in this comic. After the woman yells at the girl, she suddenly runs straight towards the screen in a very quick manner with a sound effect accompanying it. And then it's believed the girl passed out and her neighbor took her home, as the girl herself doesn't remember what happened after that, and that's what she heard happened. The comic then ends with a little bit of backstory. In 2007, a 33-year-old woman in Bongcheon-Dong, known as Cho, lost custody of her daughter and decided to jump from her apartment and died on the spot. She would then be seen walking around that apartment complex several times. And that's the end of the comic. After the release of this, it blew up almost immediately. You had so many big names such as Corey X Kenshin, Dashi, and even PewDiePie reacting to this thing.
Nor did I have the guts to pass her by. Oh my god, my legs.
And of course, there were many reaction videos of this comic too. I can honestly see why this blew up the way it did. It was a concept no one had really ever seen before. The fact that this was made long after some of the most iconic screamers blew up on the internet and yet still managed to do something different is something to behold. Once again, I highly recommend you check out the full story if you're interested. The visuals are great and the concept of a webcomic with jump scares is just really cool. And it's definitely a screamer that is worthy of a mention in this video. Smile.EXE. Once again, we'll be ending off with a bit of a goofier one. This one, in fact, is a My Little Pony screamer. How fun. There's actually quite a fair share of MLP screamers out there, but the one I'll be talking about this video is one called Smile.EXE. Now, if you were around in the MLP community back in the day, you'd know just how popular creepypastas were in the community. Not even just creepypastas, horror in general. If you've watched a ton of MLP videos on YouTube, there's a chance you've at least heard of videos such as Cupcakes HD, Smile HD, or the MOV series. I vividly remember getting Smile HD in my recommendations when watching MLP videos back in the day and being way too scared to click on it due to me hearing about it being pretty traumatizing. And well, I dodged a huge bullet there. But anyways, in short, these damn things were everywhere and you could not escape them. And Pinkie Pie specifically seemed to be the pony to get the most horror created around her. So sometime in 2013, a game would be created called Smile.EXE. Based on the title, it seems that this is some Sonic EXE parody, but with Pinkie instead. So let's see what the actual game is about, shall we? So upon opening the game, you're greeted with a very friendly but also pretty low quality looking title screen. The only things on the screen are PNGs of Pinkie, her cutie mark, and the MLP logo, along with a play, info, and exit button. Thankfully, it's not just a silent title screen because you get to jam out to the MLP theme song, and unlike Sonic.EXE, it's uninterrupted. So fire. Anyways, after your jam session, if you click the info button, it says, Every pony in Ponyville is sad and upset. As Pinkie Pie, you must go around town collecting your cutie mark power in order to make every pony happy again. Can you save the day and make the world a fun-filled, happy place again? When clicking the play button, you're transported into the gameplay immediately, which features pixel sprites of all of the ponies on top of a stretched background from the show, along with some very questionable looking birds. There's also Pinkie Pie's Smile song playing in the background, which, just like the theme song, is an absolute banger.
My name is Pinkie Pie. Hello, and I am here to say.
So as the instructions said, all you gotta do is go around town and collect cutie marks in order to make every pony happy. Seems pretty simple, right? Where after you're done cheering everyone up, you run into Princess Celestia, who tells you that you actually missed someone and you have to go back. Once you turn around and collect the last cutie mark, the game takes a total tone shift. Everything becomes inverted, Pinkie's hair goes flat as she starts to look around creepily, and all of the ponies you cheered up before are now, well, dead. The music also disappears and is replaced with this. Yeah, not sure I approve of this one. All you gotta do now is just go back to Celestia as Pinkie says, smile, as she passes by all the dead ponies. Upon reaching Celestia, she tells Pinkie that she is not welcome and that she must leave. So what happens next? The screen faces Celestia, who is now also dead. You're probably wondering how on earth you're supposed to progress now. Well, Pinkie just kinda stays there. You can't move whatsoever, and you just have to watch her slowly go more and more insane as all she says is, just smile. And just as you're sitting there wondering what to do now, the game suddenly cuts to a very loud screamer of a red Pinkie Pie with blacked out eyes and some bloody teeth, which seem to be the same teeth from the Smile dog image. And well, that's it. That's literally the whole game. This screamer just lasts for an infinite amount of time and you're basically forced to just close the game. So yeah, a pretty cheap screamer that doesn't really do anything new. The game itself is way too short and just feels not scary at all. Like, come on, you gotta do something other than the cliche of all the characters dying and there just being blood everywhere. You gotta try something new for a change. And why does the screamer have to be so loud? Screamers can be loud, yes, but this one's just ear piercing. But hey, I can't hate the game. It obviously just seems like something the creator made for fun and didn't really take too seriously, especially with the low quality graphics. The game itself honestly did alright, with several horror YouTubers uploading videos of them playing the game themselves, with even the GOAT Corey playing it and getting 500,000 views on it. In case you want to try the game itself, it's still up on GameJolt to this very day. So if you want to experience a red Pinkie screaming at you extremely loudly, then be my guest. I am not interested personally. And there you go, those are some more interesting screamers. Like I said in the intro, I wanted this installment to feature some more obscure screamers that you probably haven't heard of before, while also including some pretty iconic ones in here too. I'd once again like to thank the Screamer Wiki for helping a ton with my research. I'll leave a link to them in the description so you can go check them out, because they have quite the catalog of screamers, and who knows, you might find a pretty interesting one or even one that scared you back in the day. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little sequel. I would totally be down to do a part 3 as well, so if you're interested, be sure to leave a like and I'll definitely consider it. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more in general, feel free to subscribe as well. My month-long Christmas break has likely started by the time this video comes out, so hopefully I can get some videos out for you guys during the break. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys later. Peace!